He made $100 million, you know, and he's his own boss. He can say and do what he wants to do, having a great team.
Yeah.
Because no one person can do it by himself. That was the core of the team.
Gotcha.
You know, and it was a tremendous sacrifice, you know, especially for me. I worked like 15 years straight, 7 days a week, 20 hours a day.
Wow.
You know, that whole middle part of my life,
yeah,
it didn't exist. It didn't exist.
And now you have this egg on your face and things are falling apart. And now people are wondering, did you get screwed, or was it your own financial ignorance, and now you're bitter?
People taking shots at a great fighter, Mayweather. Probably the same people that were, applauding him and saying how great he was at one point, and now they're taking shots at him like they're almost, like they get pleasure out of seeing a great fall, potentially.
You're right,
fall.
but when you call yourself the money man, you do it to yourself a little bit too.
No, I can't argue with that.
Leonard Ellerbe recently addressed the claims surrounding Floyd Mayweather's reported loss of his $1.1 billion fortune, saying the situation did not come as a surprise to him. Having spent years working alongside Floyd, Ellerbe had a front row seat to the boxer's lavish lifestyle and the massive amounts of money being spent. According to him, those costly habits ultimately played a major role in the financial difficulties that followed.
What it is that, and they know, everybody laughed at me. They laughed at me. They said, "Oh, he just talking nonsense."
Leonard Ellerbe says that when someone reaches the level of success Floyd Mayweather achieved, criticism is bound to come with it. According to him, the true challenge is not avoiding the negativity, but dealing with it in the right way. And that was Logan Paul taking a jab at Floyd Mayweather Jr.
When you're at the top, you can expect criticism. It just comes with success, and it's all about how you handle things. And me personally, none of it's personal.
Logan Paul says he is still waiting on the outstanding $1.5 million he claims remains unpaid from that exhibition bout because he's still waiting on the $1.5 from Floyd Mayweather. He made this video simultaneously with the beef with Le'Veon.
He was the first one that had a team surrounded by him, that our focus was the business and his focus was the boxing. And in turn, we built the brand, built Mayweather Promotions.
Yeah.
And Floyd became his own boss.
Petty Atlas points out that many of the same people who once celebrated Floyd are now ridiculing him, taking pleasure in what they see as his most dramatic downfall. WAC 100 argues that Floyd Mayweather is far from broke, saying his real wealth lies in peace of mind and his ability to ignore rumors and outside criticism about his life and career.
Maybe it's coincidence, maybe it isn't.
Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao 2. The fight nobody asked for except me. I need this because if Floyd wins, he can finally pay me my $1.5 million. I don't care about the legacy fight. I don't care that these men have a combined age of 100 years. I care that Floyd Mayweather, the best boxer alive, uses those same hands that made him 100 million to Venmo me my money. And Floyd, if you're watching this, win it and pay me back or I'm gonna send my goons after you. Gotcha. Hey.
I really don't know why I watched that. Yeah, listen, dude. Logan is, again, functionally a coward for not doing this. I was really excited for it, too. I couldn't wait. That was about to be content, son. But, I mean, okay, yes, I understand if he is under WWE contract.
Pauli Malignaggi believes that if Floyd Mayweather Jr. had chosen to keep his financial affairs out of the spotlight, few people would have doubted his fortune. Instead, his frequent displays of wealth encouraged the public to scrutinize his finances more closely.
It was Mayweather, Money Mayweather, and now he's suing because he went through his money, he blew his money, whatever. Look, I don't know what the truth is fully in there. I know Steven Espinoza was named. He ran Showtime at the time. He was named him. I never was a fan of Espinoza. Again, I'm not afraid to say and not mince my words when I feel a certain way. And and I've taken I've taken arrows for it, and of course I've also taken some praise for it. That people say, hey, Teddy's going to say what he feels. I was never a fan of him. I never thought he was a man that kept his word. I never thought he really did a great job over at Showtime. I mean, they put some good fights on because the fights were available, because the landscape.
A boxing commentator examines the unexpected financial struggles surrounding Floyd Mayweather, who built a reputation on showcasing his immense wealth. Throughout his career, Mayweather partnered with major figures such as Steven Espinoza at Showtime. Yet he is now pursuing a $340 million lawsuit against them over alleged unpaid earnings. Although his longtime advisor Al Heyman is not a defendant in the case.
Right now,
What's that?
his peace of mind. When I send him things, like I send you things when it's pertaining to you, when he gets the time, he'll call me and he say, hey, Wack, what's that? And I tell him, he said, that's nonsense. He said, well, as long as they trying to figure me out, they not gonna be able to figure out what they need to do. And he continues to move. I will say this without saying too much, that I've seen him pass on some big deals based upon business he already has on the table. But again, I've been to his home, I talked.
The growing number of legal disputes continues to attract attention. The analyst also notes that Mayweather's lavish spending habits may have played a role in his current situation, pointing to his extensive collection of luxury cars, expensive jewelry, and a private jet that we are going to go through in this video. Now, I've been covering boxing for double-digit years. Allow me to take you through it. A simple Google search shows Floyd Mayweather. You type in his name, you're going to see some fight photos and whatnot.
He was the guy who was making that kind of money. And for all intents and purposes, I assume he was. Everybody assumed he was, and it seemed like he thought he was, because he wasn't complaining. He was showing off, you know? This is why, as I get older, I feel like, and everybody always tells you this when you're young, like, keep your finances private, you know, and this is why I think this is a big reason why. First and foremost, you notice that if you don't keep your finances private, everybody and their mothers ask you for money constantly, and they don't ask you for.
That happens either way.
And they don't ask you. Well, people assume you have money, but if you flaunt it, you definitely they confirm you have money. And they don't ask you for money like you need to buy the Rolex or the Lamborghini. They'll guilt you into it. They need their mother's dying in the hospital. They need to pay for a funeral.
But the top stories, and there's multiple stories, and we're going to take a look at some of them. But as mentioned, Business Insider is now reporting what you see on the screen, that Floyd Mayweather is being accused in lawsuits of owing millions of dollars for luxury watches, gold, and rent on palatial apartments.
We're going to go through in this video. Now, I've been covering boxing for double-digit years. Allow me to take you through it. A simple Google search shows Floyd Mayweather. You type in his name, you're going to see some fight photos and whatnot. But the top stories, and there's multiple stories, and we're going to take a look at some of them. But as mentioned, Business Insider is now reporting what you see on the screen, that Floyd Mayweather is being accused in lawsuits of owing millions of dollars for luxury watches, gold, and rent on palatial apartment, right? The bullet points. Floyd was sued for allegedly failing to pay rent on a luxurious
Floyd was sued for allegedly failing to pay rent on a luxurious duplex in costs tied to luxury residences, high rental payments, and outstanding debts reportedly began piling up, leading to a series of legal disputes. One Miami couple who owned a condominium leased by Floyd Mayweather alleged that he accumulated roughly $500,000 in unpaid rent. Reports indicate that while payments were made at first, communication eventually ceased when efforts were made to recover the remaining balance. Analysts argue that a combination of excessive spending, poor financial oversight, and dependence on others for key money decisions ultimately created serious problems. They add that wealth and celebrity alone cannot ensure long-term financial security, and that even elite athletes can face financial collapse if their assets are not managed responsibly.
$500K, $500,000 in arrears plus late fees minus a deposit that Mayweather paid at the start of the lease and the $100,000 catch-up payment. So they deducted what he did submit when he was made aware of this, the 100K, and I guess a deposit. So the remaining balance is that. An attorney for Mayweather did not provide a comment by deadline. He has not responded to the lawsuit in court. In a separate legal matter, so we've already went over one with this luxury condo in Manhattan, right? But a separate legal matter, a Miami jeweler sued Floyd Mayweather last month, alleging the boxer owes more than $1 million.
The sum represents the $500,000 in arrears plus late fees minus a deposit that Mayweather paid at the start of the lease and the $100,000 catch-up payment. So they deducted what he did submit when he was made aware of this $100,000 and I guess a deposit. So the remaining balance is that. An attorney for Mayweather did not provide a comment by deadline. He has not responded to the lawsuit in court. In a separate legal matter, a Miami jeweler sued Floyd Mayweather last month.
I have a lot of money, okay? For me, I could go into a jewelry store, spend 20,000 at the time, like nothing. Like, you know what? I didn't plan on going there. I bought a Ferrari. I went with my friend to go check out a Ferrari he was gonna buy. I went there and I'm like, I got this in my account. I could buy this right now. You know, like that. You know, and I'm not saying that's smart. What I'm saying is,
your accountant must have loved you.
yeah, really. but what I'm saying is, I got good money for that when I sold it. I gotta be honest.
I'm listening.
The used car market came back at the time. But anyway, what I'm saying is, it could go like that, okay? That kind of money. But bro, $340 million? That's not Ferrari, but that's a lot of Ferraris, a lot of houses.
But Floyd had a lot of Ferraris. And that's the thing about Floyd. Like, yes, is that way too much money? Yes, that's a...
Alleging the boxer owes more than $1 million for jewelry that he took, but never paid for. Malik Nagy and Chris Algieri discuss how Floyd Mayweather found himself facing financial concerns despite generating vast amounts of wealth throughout his career. Malik Nagy says it is difficult to comprehend how someone operating at Mayweather's financial level could allow such substantial sums to go unaccounted for.
Your fight price, more than one fight, multiple fight
at the height of your career.
$340 million. There's nights where you didn't make that much money in a night.
But we heard about stuff like this with Mike Tyson back in the day. Yeah. Big money losses, people taking advantage of him, a number of different things. Now, all that being said and done, 10 years is the point. That is the major point of all of this. Because when you look about this now, 10 years, where does this come from? It makes me think that someone's gotten in his ear. And maybe, where does this come from out of nowhere? Is he going through the books now, 10 years later? No, of course not. Someone else is. Someone else is probably telling him, hey man, this is like this,
so you think it did happen?
I don't know. I think regardless of whether it happened or it didn't, that's
what I'm wondering.
Unless it's coming out of nowhere, unless he literally is just getting just
he's losing his mind because there's a lot of rumors about him losing money, right?
Losing money, being I don't want to say.
He contrasts ordinary luxury purchases such as a Ferrari or high-end jewelry with the enormous scale of money that flowed through Mayweather's career. While routine extravagances may have little impact, the figures involved in Mayweather's earnings were on an entirely different level. Algieri adds that during the peak of Mayweather's success, losing track of revenue from even a single fight could result in major financial setbacks. When repeated across several events, those missed amounts can grow into increasingly costly mistakes. Malik Nagy draws a comparison to past examples, referencing fighters such as Mike Tyson who experienced major financial losses because of poor management and exploitation by people around them.
Types of things that, when if you believe anything that he puts on his social media, the travel that he does, the places he goes, and the amount of entourage he has, I mean, that's like a money pit. I mean, whether you're flying on private jets or you're staying at first class hotels or you're, buying expensive jewelry and cars and bags and you name it. I mean, it's all good when you're making those gigantic paydays and they're coming in, a couple times a year. You're making 40 million here and 25 million there, or even more, 100 million plus, when he fought the big mega fights with guys like Conor McGregor and Manny Pacquiao. But when that stopped.
*** interview 11 ***. Both analysts stress that Floyd Mayweather's financial concerns were not the result of a sudden event occurring years after
Mayweather had a tough life living.
Instead, they suggest that someone may have recently brought certain issues to his attention or begun closely examining his financial records. Their discussion underscores the idea that even the most successful figures in boxing are not immune to financial difficulties, as fame and fortune alone do not ensure lasting financial stability. Boxing reporter Dan Raphael says he was not shocked by reports of Floyd Mayweather encountering financial difficulties after stepping away from the sport. According to Raphael, anyone who closely followed Mayweather's career could have anticipated such challenges because of how publicly he showcased his spending habits. His lavish lifestyle was consistently on display, featuring private jets, luxury vehicles.
Al Heyman, who is not named in the suit, but apparently is supposedly part of this problem, whatever. But I mean, I've known Al Heyman and covered Al Heyman's fighters and his business since the day he stepped in boxing in like 2002 with Vernon Forrest. And all that time, and literally in terms of the PBC, you know, a couple hundred fighters that he's dealt with, maybe not personally, but that his team is and his company. To a fighter, you never hear anybody, even when they're retired and they're not with Al anymore, nobody talks bad about him. In fact, if you ask most fighters, they'll tell you how good to them that he has been, that type of money that they've helped.
And media organizations in professional boxing. Black 100 says Floyd Mayweather stays composed and is not influenced by public criticism or what circulates on social media, especially since he does not actively manage those platforms himself. He explains that a significant portion of Mayweather's wealth is reportedly distributed across various business structures, including trusts, companies, and investment arrangements, which can make his full financial picture less visible to outsiders. Even if it does not always look that way publicly, WAC 100 insists Mayweather remains financially secure and confident in his position. He also adds that for Mayweather, wealth is not only about money, but also about personal satisfaction. According to him, Mayweather values time with family, particularly moments spent with his grandson, showing that his sense of stability and happiness extends beyond financial success.